Hello, everyone. My name is Brandon Faulkner. I'm an intern for Village Core. For other events like this, be sure to check out villagecore.org or check out our YouTube channel in case you miss any of these meetings. Today, we'll be discovering the world of Grammarly and how it can easily help you write papers, as well as making sure that your papers are edited and that there is somebody always looking to help you with your writing and to make sure that it's clear and concise in many different ways. So the way that Grammarly works is it kind of latches onto your either grammatical errors, your punctuation errors, or your sentence errors. So some of these features do actually come with the premium version and not with the free version. What comes with the free version is sentence corrections, minor ones, punctuation changes, and then as well as grammar changes. With the premium version, you can access a whole lot more, but I'll get to that in a second. So the way that Grammarly works is essentially what you do is you can go to Grammarly Inc., which you can click it up here, and it'll say Grammarly Free AI Writing Assistance, or you can go to the Google Extensions store. So if we go to the Google Extensions store and come to the Chrome store here, I can look up Grammarly. And it's not, yes, is it? No, that's not it. But essentially, here, I'll get to that in a second. But essentially what they have is they have their own extension, which you can actually see up here since I already have it installed, where I can edit my papers as I'm typing them right here. So right here, I have kind of like a test example. I have one of my UC prompts that I was filling out in order to make sure that I get into college. Um, Luckily, everything is good with it, and I don't really need to edit much. But here's a rough draft that I had that I can still go back and edit. So here with Grammarly on the side, if I were to use it while actually using something like Google Docs, Word, or anything like that, I would be able to see my grammatical errors as well as the clarity score, an engagement score, and then a delivery score. So here, if I were to make these changes, I would be able to click them. I can learn more about why this change is important, and I can read why they want me to change it. And then as well, I can either forget the change entirely to keep the word as it is, or I can click on the buttons here to see incorrect suggestions or offensive content. So I can mark it as offensive content if I need to. But essentially, if I just were to simply click on it, then things would be changed around and I don't have to edit it anymore. There's also setting goals for yourself using Grammarly. So you can both do this on the website and as well with the Chrome extension. Essentially, what you can do is you can set your goals as you wish. So if you want to set your goals as somebody who is an expert in being able to tell a story, Grammarly can help you with that and lock onto that feature or lock onto what you want. Also, formality. You can change your paper from being informal to neutral or to formal. So for informal things, this might be, let's say, a letter to a friend, or let's say it's a fun little email to a colleague about you guys going out to go get drinks or something like that. If you want it as a neutral tone, would essentially mean that you're writing something kind of basic, something like a paper for school, or let's say you were writing um, a card to acknowledge somebody. If you want it as a formal thing, this could be something for like a work email, an email to a boss, a wedding invitation, something like that. Something to just kind of help you and get that formal setting or that neutral setting or that informal setting within your paper. There's also domain. So domain essentially means that you are kind of looking over the things that you kind of want to write this paper for. So this could be academic, this could be business, this could be general, this could be an email, this could be a casual writing, or this could be a creative writing. And right now, I just have it set to general since I don't really do much with it. Other than maybe write a few papers and of course um, do my UC prompts. We can also see the intent. So the intent essentially means what you want from the paper that you're writing. You can either have it to inform, to describe, to convince, or to tell a story. These are currently experimental, which means that these are getting better as Grammarly updates them and finds the errors. But essentially, they'll get better over time. So you have a more constructive paper when you're going through and actually writing things like this. So for this, since I have it set to a general tone, I tried to spruce it up a little bit in order to make it sound as positive as possible for me to be able to get into college. So hopefully when the admissions officers read over this, they'll see that my paper is 100% ready to go, or my UC prompt is 100% ready to go, and that I can be admitted into their school based off of what they like and what they see, as well as going back here to the actual Grammarly.com. So this will actually be kind of like your home base. This will be where you have everything ready to go, and this is where you can also control your account. You can also upload new files in here as well. So if I were to hit new on here, I have a complete writing template right here where I can copy and paste text. I can set those parameters. So I want to tell a story. Let's say I want to tell a story and convince at the same time. And now Grammarly will calibrate to those parameters that I set. And now we can see here all my writing. And then once again, we can see those errors, as well as being able to see that clarity once again. So this paper, this UC prompt is very clear. The engagement, I need that with premium in order for it to tell me. Same with delivery, other things like that. There's also generative AI. So this generative AI would be something like improving my paper. So if I were to use the AI function that comes along with Grammarly, if I were to select the text, I would be able to, uh, let's see, I would be able to, let's say I wanted to improve it. So here the AI will run through and it'll give me kind of an idea to kind of improve the writing as well. So I can make I can shorten it, I can make it assertive, or I can just completely forget about it and make it and set different parameters to it, or I can just say, I don't want that anymore. So let's say I want to make it sound professional. So the AI will essentially go back over and it'll make it sound more professional. So this way you have kind of many different ways of writing your paper without actually having to write it. Of course, since a lot of people frown against using AI entirely, since it is plagiarism, you can take out some parts, you can add some parts in order to make it sound a little bit less robotic and a little bit more like you. But the AI is there to help you. Once again, there's your goals. The overall score of this UC prompt currently is a score of 76 out of 100. You can see the character count, the word count, the reading time, the speaking time, the sentences, the word length, the sentence length, and then as well as the readability score. So it is relatively above average, especially for writing like this. We can see unique words and rare words, which are both below average as well. So this is kind of just a report into what you're doing with your work in order to make sure that you are knowing what you're doing and what you have and that you have the tools to actually fix that later on. So now if I were to close out of this, we can see my paper right there. I can title it as well. I can title it whatever I want. I can add a new, or I can download it as well. There's also the trash can. So the trash can allows you to see all these old papers that you may have. So if you are somebody who kind of wants to go back and maybe rethink about that paper, maybe you want to bring it back. But basically here you'll be able to access all those documents. The documents will be deleted after 30 days. So if you pull them out before then you'll be completely fine. But if you dump them like this, like I'm about to do, delete permanently, yes, delete permanently, I will no longer be able to access any of these documents. Uh, so I empty my trash. I will never be able to access those documents anymore. Here, if we come to my account section, essentially what it'll do is it'll run over my account. It'll run over the features. I can customize it. I can look at the language, the language that I'm used to, so American English. It also has British English, which you can write in Canadian English. Australian English, and then Indian English. So these all have a different form of sound and as well as reading, which basically can enhance your paper to make you sound a little bit more sophisticated or just keep it as natural as possible to convince other people about your writing or just to simply tell a story. There's also your primary language that you can select here. So this will latch on and then it'll make corrections in those languages as well, seeing as you are not a native English speaker like I am. There's also the generative AI where you can customize the different features. So I can turn these features off and on whenever I choose. There's also the security section, and then there's also trying a Grammarly for business. So if you're somebody who is running a business and who has a team of writers, let's say you have a team of people running your press, like sending out press releases, making a magazine about the different types of products that you sell, making informative infographics, other things like that. Grammarly for business might be something that you may want to consider. You get everything that is included with Grammarly Plus, and it allows it to be on more than one computer. So as of right now, since I have this computer and I have my desktop, I would be able to use um, the current free version on both, but I would only be able to use the premium version on both unless I sign up for the business part, which essentially means that everybody in my office will be able to have the use of Grammarly Plus. So this really helps people with writing. It helps people have clear emails. It helps people have um, kind of confidence in their writing, confidence in what they're doing, and also making them sound more professional. So this can increase workflow. It can also increase making sure that you are getting across to clients more clear and more assertive, as well as trying to convince them that you want them to come aboard your company and buy things from yourself. So this could be something like, let's say I was selling dog treats and I really want to get into the market, but I don't know how to contact people. And I have to do a lot of cold emails in order to make sure that people are actually seeing my product. Well, if I were to send a cold email without kind of making it sound all nice and professional, nobody would really want to come to me. They might say, okay, a kid is running this. I don't really want to deal with a kid running this because I don't trust that kid. I don't think they have much experience. But with Grammarly for Business, what I can do is I can sign up for their business program and I can say, okay, now I can edit this. Now I can make it sound a lot more professional. And now it sounds like an actual professional is writing the email. And now they will say, huh, this kid actually has some real talent here. And seeing as his email is rather professional and gets straight to the point, I might want to hop on his business and make sure that his business starts actually making profits and other things like that. So if you are somebody who is in the need for better word usage, less errors, other things like that, Grammarly for Business might be the thing for you. Now, moving on to subscription, there are three different types. There's the free version, which I'm currently using. There's the premium version, and then there's also the business version, which I just went over. So here, for the premium version, we have clarity, vocabulary, and tone suggestion. It comes with everything in free. There's full sentence rewrites. There's also word choice changes. There's tone suggestion, and there's also plagiarism detectors. So let's say you are somebody who is going back to school and maybe getting their master's, maybe getting a graduate's degree, something like that. You might want to look at this and say, hey, I can use this and I can utilize this because it has a plagiarism detector. So I can make sure that I am keeping it 100% and making sure that I am actually typing things out correctly rather than stealing somebody else's work. Um, so there's a few different kind of payments that you can make. There's the annual payment, which is $12 a month. There's the quarterly payment, which is $20 a month, which is limited to one payment of $60 as well. And then there's the monthly payment, which is $30 a month. So these individual plans basically increase in price based off of what you're doing. And the cheapest option is the annual option if you were to buy it as well. And then for Grammarly for Business, it is $15 a month per member. So if you were to have a team of, let's say you were to have a team of six, that means you would spend around $90 on the actual subscription as well. So all these come with different things. Once again, it is very important to kind of have that clear writing when you are writing, making sure that you are coming across clear rather than being all jumbled as well. So if we go here really quick, tell me what it does? No. Okay, yeah, it does. So here we can compare the plans. So if you want to look over this and see what everything comes with the free version, of course, you get limited access, but as well, with the premium version, you get things like adjusting your writing tone, writing fluently in English, using inclusive language, keeping citations consistent, other things like that. And there are some security features like making sure that you are staying safe while using this. And there's also other features as well, such as account permissions for the business, of course, managed mode, which means that you as a manager will have access to everybody under the business plan. You'll be able to invite everybody to the domain. There's also style guides, brand tones, knowledge shares, snippets, and then as well as an analytics dashboard with the business feature. And basically, what it means is that everybody is doing what they should, and everybody is on top of their work. But typically, what people go with is just the standard premium version, which is the most useful. So here with the premium suggestions actually acting live, we can see if I zoom in here, the 27 advancement issues that only premium users get. So my punctuation in compound/complex sentences is a little bit off. So I'll be able, under the premium version, to go in and fix that. I'll also be able to fix my wordy sentences, passive voice muse, unclear sentences, improper formatting, and other things like that. So that just makes sure that my paper looks completely professional and make sure that my paper is ready to go and that people are actually able to read it rather than kind of being lost when reading it. Because oftentimes people have trouble with that and then they get lost and then they're like, okay, I don't want to read this anymore. Or okay, you don't sound professional to me, you don't get my business anymore. And that is something that we are trying to go against. Grammarly comes in different forms as well. So there's Grammarly for Mac, like I'm on a Mac right now. So I'd be able to download this, which I actually don't know why it's not downloaded right now. There's Grammarly for Chrome, which I have active. There's also Grammarly for iPhone and iPad. So if you're somebody who's looking to kind of edit your text messages, edit emails, as well as editing different documents on an iPhone or an iPad, you can do it with that. And then there's also Grammarly for Android, as well as being able to edit different things like emails, which is something that you can do within Gmail, Yahoo, other things like that. It'll show up just like it would for something like a paper that you're writing. It would show up as this little icon down here. And it'll be able to show you all the errors and other things like that. So moving back, that is really all that I have to offer about Grammarly. It's great if you're looking to do something like writing a book, writing a paper, making cards to people, making sure that people can actually read things clearly. It's great for all of it. Any writing that you do should always be proofed and should always be as correct as possible. And Grammarly is really out here trying to make sure that make sure that everybody is writing clearly and that nobody is getting confused by their own writing, or people aren't getting confused reading your writing. So other than that, I have nothing really else to offer. So once again, my name is Brandon Faulkner. I'm an intern for Village Core. For other events like this, be sure to check out villagecore.org or check out our YouTube channel in case you miss any of these meetings. Thank you so much for watching.